I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. It's Saturday morning here in Nigeria. And one of the things I had desired as a young person was the ability to wake up and at the time I want to wake up. I'm not an early riser unless I have an appointment. I like to sleep and wake up at the time I want to wake up. I'm not a good stress manager. That's why I was so happy to leave medical practice at 40. I don't like the rush in urban societies. That's why I preferred to live in a suburban community like Ughelli. I projected that at this age bracket, I don't want to be going to work by 8 or do this 8 to 9 or what is it, 8 to 5. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to walk at my own pace. And God has helped me. There are some questions that I want to ask. I told you I go to bed and then I wake up with the inspiration of what to share with you. I want us to deliberate. 10 years from now, how old would you be? Me, I will be 75. And 75 is not far from now. Remember, 2024 is nearly ending. 10 years from now, my eldest child will be 48. 10 years from now, my last child will be 38. How old would your child be? If you have a 2-year-old child, 10 years from now, she will be in secondary school in Nigeria. 10 years from now, what will be your income? If you continue at this pace, your child that is 7 years old now will be in university. 10 years from now, your child that is 12 years old will be leaving university. 10 years from now, your father who is 70 will be 80. What plans? Each of these figures I've given to you require more expenditure. 10 years from now, will you still be a tenant in that house without a house of your own? I know a man who lived in a house for 31 years. One day, the landlord gave him a quit notice, told him to pack and go. He didn't bother about rent, just go. Said, I don't want my children to grow up thinking that you are their uncle. You stayed in a place, Aba, 31 years. As at when he was telling me 31 years, there were, please don't mind me cleaning my face. He just woke up. 31 years back, there were pieces of land sold at 2,000 naira to 5,000 naira in some places in Aba. Cement, I was buying cement as at that time at 13 naira per bag of cement. This person I'm talking about is a typical religious person. Excuse me. Is a typical religious person. Then we were waiting for the rapture, and the rapture has delayed. 10 years from now, you are a church worker. How old would you be? What would be the financial implications around you? Look at those who are ahead of you by with 10 years of age in your denomination. How do they look like? That is those doing what you are doing now, with the level of education you are using, with the income you are earning. 10 years from now, how would you look like? Look at the neighborhoods you are living in. 10 years from now, how would it look like? I looked at places 10 years ago, how they have metamorphosed, how the prices of real estate have gone up. And so I went to a suburban environment and bought properties. What I bought for 500,000 per acre, some less, is now 6 million per acre. There was one that is opposite where an institute came up now. We bought an acre there, 400,000. They called me recently to buy half an acre for 7 million. 10 years from now, what will be the value of your currency? 10 years from now. If you plot the graph of deceleration or devaluation, 10 years from now, what will it be like? Are you thinking of where to invest in such a way that as there is devaluation of the currency, there is an increase in the value of your investment? 10 years from now, how many things can you increase their prices if prices are increasing? 10 years from now, how will your strength be like? How will your health be like? I know one day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I ask from you. Those people, where they come from, government takes care of them. Those people that sang, that person that sang that song, where she comes from, homelessness is now becoming a major problem in their major cities. Homelessness. You see people in the streets because they didn't plan ahead. 10 years from now, if you save your 40,000 naira salary without drinking water, without going to the restroom, without uh, taking anything from it, 40,000 naira will give you 4.8 million naira. Can you marry from that? Can you train a child from that? That's if you don't feed, if you don't buy anything, you don't buy data. 40,000 naira. Even 70,000 naira minimum wage will be 8.4 million. What can it buy? That's if you don't do anything. Are you not therefore thinking like Jacob, who after some years, 14 years, asked Laban, is it not time for me to have something of my own? 10 years from now, many of those you are spending your energy on, spending your resources on, they will not be with you. I like to face reality. I've seen, particularly those of you in the diaspora, 10 years from now, what if your wife drives you from your house? Drives you from your house. 10 years from now, when all your children will have left school and they don't need you and she doesn't need you and you are not as strong as you used to be in the Department of Narcology, what if she what if she considers you a zero option? I've had people send me messages about their wives that they married over a period of time and then they suddenly changed. I read the story of a missionary that went to Gabon with his wife from America and 5 children. When they wanted to return to America, she refused to follow because she had started dating the security man. Security man was knocking her. And he connived with the security man to delete the husband. And the husband was deleted. Angola, I suspect. The husband was deleted by the security man who was knocking a missionary's wife. People change with time. Everything changed with time. I've always told this family that if you wake up and you say, I'm not your father, not your husband, I didn't do business with you, as long as I can leave this house, just pick my passport, pick my certificates. In 10 years, I will be richer than who I am now. 10 years from now, if you are a 45-year-old man and you are 55 and you start having prostatic issues like benign prostatic hyperplasia, do you have the resources to take care of yourself? 10 years from now, if you are 65, 75, surgery for prostatectomy might be about 3 million then, 4 million, 5 million. Have you put things down? Okay, let's come to the younger age bracket. You are 25. Your first child is 2. Add 10, 12, secondary school. Your first child is 7. Add 10, 17. You want him to be caged in this country? Okay, let me ask a general question. 10 years from now, the way this country is going, what do you think will happen? Do you have contingency plans? When Pastor Ade Farasin said that we should have plan B for ourselves in this country, oh, church people, they attacked him, blah, 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 blah. He is able to fly to meet Donald Trump. He is able to go everywhere. And what he said is manifesting. All those ruling you, they have plan B, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. 10 years from now, how would northern Nigeria look like with these Boko Haram, new terrorist groups, and all that? 10 years from now. I just arbitrary thing. 10 years from now, how will the agitation in eastern Nigeria look like? I told some people that I invest more in this community, this locality. I was telling them long time ago that there's going to be more ethnocentricity, ethnophobia in Nigeria and globally. 10 years from now, how would Donald Trump's policy have affected non-Native Americans? A state has already donated space for mass deportations. 10 years from now, what will America look like? 10 years from now, how will Lagos look like? Will they tell non-indigens to leave? I'm just being crazy. But that's how to think sometimes. You prepare for the future. 10 years from now, you might be retiring. What are your plans for retirement? What if they suddenly dismiss you? 10 years from now, you are a pastor in a church. You have risen to the rank of a bishop. What if they retire you? 10 years from now, just keep asking some basic questions about 10 years from now. But for me, I am declaring upon myself, then I am writing down and projecting the expenditure and how I need projects I need to complete 10 years from now. I remain your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I have a conference coming up online on the 6th and on the 7th of December. Send a message to +234 80 21 21 92 62. God bless you.